Hi there everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm Elise if you haven't practiced with me before, and welcome to today's yoga class. This will be a really nice and short flow, so around 25 minutes, and you can do this any time of the day when you feel like you need to just move around, get your heart rate a tiny little bit up, but not too much and not too sweaty, and yeah, that's the flow for you. So we'll start in the tabletop position. So when you're ready, get your weight there. And making sure you come in the middle of the mat in here. So your wrist will be underneath the shoulders and your knees will be underneath your hips. And hands shoulder distance apart, middle fingers are facing forward, and then your toes are facing all the way to the back of the room. And then if you have any injuries, just making sure you modify as much as you need. So if you need to pad your knees a tiny bit more, please do that. Or anytime if you want to skip a pose, you're more than welcome to do that. So from here now, we'll come into the breath, and we're going to start with a cat and cow. So that's a quite nice movement to find our breath in here. So we're going to take a breath in here, we'll drop the belly down, we'll lift through the tailbone and through the chest, look forward, keep the neck long, and then exhale, we're going to go the other way around through the back, bring the chin to the chest. Inhale again, we'll drop the belly, we'll lift through the chest, look forward, and exhale, it's round again. Good, 2 more times, inhale. Lovely, and exhale, rounding. Good, last one, inhale. And exhale, let's round through the back. Good, back to the neutral tabletop in here. Let's tuck our toes under. Push the hips onto the heels in here, so get a bit of a stretch through the soles of the feet in here. And we're going to slide our hands forward, keep the palms down and press into the palms. So you're activating through the shoulders here. You can let your head drop down. We'll take 3 breaths here. Just time to activate through the shoulders here. 2 more. Good, 1 more. Lovely, so looking up to your hands in here, we're going to bring our hips over the knees again. You can keep the hands where they are. Untuck your toes and then walk your hands a tiny little bit forward here, so you can drop your chest towards the mat. And the chest doesn't need to touch. So making sure your elbows and your forearms are coming down. And again, you can bring your forehead down, maybe bring your chin down and look towards your hands in here. So this one is a heart melting pose or puppy pose. Super, super nice. You just open through the chest in here, open through the shoulders. We'll take another 3 breaths here. 2 more. Good, 1 last breath. Lovely, so if your forehead is down, lift your head, lift your hands, and then kind of snake forward, so trying to stay low. And we're going to bring our hips down into the mat, the chest stays off the mat. If you need to move your elbows a tiny little bit together now, so bringing your elbows underneath the shoulders here, and we're going to find the swings pose in here. Lifting through the chest, keeping your neck long, pressing into the hands, so shoulders away from your knees, so keep it nice and active. Make sure you're relaxing the lower body though, so maybe just wiggle the hips side to side for a second. We're going to find a bit of a stretch into the neck in here, so we're going to drop our head all the way to the right first. Take a breath in, and exhale out. Good, bring the head through the center here, drop the head to the left. Inhale, exhale out. Good, and bring your head back to the center here. Just look over the right shoulder. Good. And through the center, looking to the left. Lovely, back to the center here. Drop your head back to the right. And we're going to do a full circle here now, so drop the chin to the chest. Head travels to the left. Gently dropping it back. When you get back to the right shoulder, just change direction and go the other way. Gently, gently, gently. Good, and when you get back to the right, just bring your head back to the center. From here now, we're going to open the elbows to the side. So you're going to lower your chest down. Good, bring arms down on the side of the body. Wiggle your hips side to side for a second. And then lift your head, your chest again. Let's bring our hands underneath our shoulders. We're going to tuck our toes under. And let's push up into our first downward facing dog. Again, because it might be your first one today, so take it nice and easy here. Pedal through the feet. Bend into the knees as much as you need. And using your breath in here. 2 more. 1 more. Okay, we'll inhale, look up to the fingers here and exhale. Let's walk our feet all the way to the top of the mat. And we're going to open through the lower back in here. So feet hip distance apart or maybe tie a bit more wider. Bend through the knees so you can bring your belly and your chest down onto the legs. So now we're going to find the opposite elbows here. Let our head drop down and just rocking side to side. This is a super nice way to open up through the lower back. So if you've been sitting down for quite a long time, this is a really nice stretch to do. Another 2 breaths here. 1 more. Good. So slowly here, letting go of the elbows. Let's inhale here. Head is still heavy. Exhale through the spine, rolling yourself up. Keep your chin in your chest, and the head is the last to come up. Super, super slow. And when you get up, just roll into the shoulders here. Lovely, we're going to flow through a 2 sun salutations. And we're going to go nice and slow here. So feet hip distance apart, so hips are nice and open here. Making sure you're hugging your belly in. Maybe roll the shoulders back and down. And then make sure the fingers are facing all the way down. We're going to take a breath here. And exhale out. Good. Inhale, we'll reach the arms high. High mountain. Exhale, let's find a fold over the legs, go down. Inhale, we'll lift halfway, nice flat back. And then exhale, let's place the hands down in here. We'll step back, find a high plank. Good, so shoulders are underneath, shoulders are over, you're resting here. Again, your middle fingers are facing all the way forward. Think about pushing your heels to the back of the room. We'll take another 2 breaths here. Just 1 more. Good, and you're welcome to drop the knees down in here. Untap the toes and we're going to drop the chest down, elbows into the body, inhale. Exhale, let's lift the chest. Keep the hands down, gently press into the hands, find the cobra. Inhale. Exhale, drop the chest back down. Good, we'll tuck our toes under. Let's find our downward facing dog again. So hips will go high. 2 breaths here. Good, 1 more. Nice, inhale here. Look up to the fingers and exhale. Step or hop to the top of the mat this time. Inhale again, we'll lift halfway flat back. Exhale, we'll fold over the legs. Inhale, we'll come up, reach the arms high. Exhale, we'll fold back down into that fold. You've got 1 more. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we'll place the hands down in here, stepping back. We'll hold in our high plank for 3. Remember, you can always drop the knees down. You've got 2. Lovely, 1 more breath. Flow through the vinyasas. Again, you can drop the knees. Choose your back bend here. So I'm going to go a bit deep and find upper facing dog this time. Keeping the neck long. And we'll meet in back in our down dog. We'll take 2 breaths here. 1 more. Good. Inhale, we're going to reach the right leg high. And then exhale, we're going to step the right foot outside of the right hand. Good, we'll drop our back knee. We'll untuck the back toes. Weight comes to your left hand in here. We're going to reach the right arm high. You got easy twist in here. Good. Really, really press into the left hand in here. And then try to reach the right fingertips all the way up. We'll take another 2 breaths here. You got 1 more. Good, let's drop that right hand down. Lovely. Turn your right toes out a bit. We'll tuck our back toes under, lift the back knee, look forward and step your left foot now outside of your left hand. So you're coming back to the top of the mat. Toes are facing out, so we're going to sit down and we're going to find the yogi squat in here. Be really, really gentle. It's the first one. This is a super nice way to open up through the hips in here. If you can, hands will come off the mat. You can bring them together here. Elbows are pushing the knees out. And you can just rock side to side. Sometimes it feels a bit nicer to move around in here if you're doing it the first time. And try not to round through the back too much. So really think about lifting through the chest in here and keeping the shoulders away from your ears. Lovely. We're going to take another 2 breaths here. Good. One more. Good. Let's bring our hands down. Push the hips high. Turn your toes facing back forward. And they're a bit wide in here, but we're going to still inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold over the legs. Good. Inhale here, we're going to come up, reach the arms high. Exhale, folding back down over the legs. Keep the legs wide. Feels quite nice through the hips. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, we'll place the hands down in here. Step both your legs back. Find your high plank in here. 2 more breaths. You can do it. Good. 1 more. Flow through the vinyasa. Meeting back in down dog. And we got a left side to go from here. Let's take a breath in. And exhale out. Inhale, your left leg goes high. Exhale, step the foot outside of the left hand. Drop your back knee, untuck the back toes. Press into the right hand, left arm, reach as high, easy twist. Making sure the hips are nice and heavy. They're facing down. Another 2 breaths. Good, 1 more. Nice, bringing that left hand back down in here. We'll tuck our back toes, lift the back knee up. This time you're just going to step your left leg back. So you're back in your high plank, flowing through the vinyasa again. Whichever version of the back bend you want to do. And we're meeting back in our down dog. We're going to take a breath here. And we're going to exhale out. Good. So from here, we'll drop our knees down. And we'll untuck the toes. If you have a quite sensitive knees now, you can pad your knees a bit. So you're going to just bring that mat over. So double the mat and bring your knees onto the mat. We're going to go into a camel, but really, really nice and gently. So we're going to lift up in here, thinking about that you've got wall in front of you, so you want to push the hips onto the wall. And we're going to make a fist in here, or you can have your palms open. We're going to bring the hands to our lower back in here, squeezing the elbows together, lifting through the chest. And really thinking about not dropping or not sinking into the lower back in here. So you want to keep your spine long when you're going into that back bend. So not just dropping down, keeping it long and then going into that back bend. So fist into your lower back or your palms. Squeeze the elbows again. Think about that lift in here, so hug your belly in. Take a breath in. Exhale, nice and slowly, pushing your hips a tiny little bit forward. Squeezing the elbows together, really lifting through the chest in here. And if you can, maybe look up to the ceiling. Just a tiny little bit. 2 more breaths here. Good, 1 more. Good, slowly coming out. Nice. Just bringing your hands down in front of you. And let's do a cat and cow in here. So inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, let's round through the back. Good. So coming back in here, we'll tuck our toes under. Move yourself a bit more forward if you did double the mat. Bring it back to normal. Stepping back in here, find your downward facing dog again. Take a breath in. And exhale. Good. Inhale. We're going to look up to the fingers. Exhale, finding your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, we'll lift in halfway, flat back. Exhale, we'll fold over the legs. Inhale, we'll come up, reach the arms high. And exhale, we're going to lower hands to our heart center here. Good, we're going to find a tiny little bit of balance here now. So hands can stay on your heart center, or you can bring them onto your hips. Sometimes you want to keep them all the way forward. Whatever works with the balance here, what we'll do is we're going to come onto our toes. So we're going to lift the heels off the mat. And you're going to slowly now keep the heels off the mat the whole time. We're going to try to squat down or sit down. But the heels are staying off the mat, nice and slow. Good. Now, if your hands on your heart center on your hips, we're going to reach the arms forward. If you can, heels will come down to the mat, and you're going to try to sit down. Good. And then drop your hands. Nice, shake the legs out. Lovely. So we're going to move into our hips a tiny bit more in here. And what we'll do is we're kind of going to work into a pigeon, but it's a tiny little bit different than a pigeon. What we're doing here is we're going to bring our right knee in. We're going to take the right ankle and bring the right foot nice and close to the right hip. It doesn't need to be that the knees are together, so it's going to come out in here. And then we're going to bend into the left knee. And we're going to drop the left knee to the side. You need to move yourself a tiny little bit on your mat now. So you're going to push your right leg back a bit. And what you want to do with your left knee here, so the knee can stay off the mat, you want to find a 90-degree angle here. Your left hip is facing forward. Your left knee is facing forward. You're going to flex through the toes, so left toes are facing forward. But you've got that 90-degree angle here. So this is really, really nice stretch to the hips. And we're going to bring our hands down just in front of kind of that right shin in here. And we're just going to flow here a bit. So we're going to inhale. We'll come forward over that left knee. And then exhale, you're going to come back up. Inhale, we're going to go back down. Exhale, we're going to come back up. Good, one more time. So inhale, we'll lower down. And we're going to try to stay in here now. So you can stay on your palms. You can bring the forearms in front of you. Just hold in here. Tiny little bit different stretch that you usually feel in your pigeon. Good, we're going to take another 3 breaths. Two. Good, one more breath here. Nice, pressing into the hands, walking the hands back in. Nice. And what we're doing here now, we're going to sit down onto the hips. So you're going to turn yourself, hands will go behind you, and you can come onto both of your feet. Good, so knees are facing up, just windscreen wipe the knees side to side. Lovely, and we're going to drop now our legs or knees to the right. So we're going to find exactly that same position, but just facing the back of the mat. So again, your left leg goes back a bit. You're sitting on your right hip. That right hip is facing all the way forward. And again, you want to find that 90-degree angle with that right leg in here. So with the right knee, the toes are facing forward, right hip is facing actually back of the mat and the knee as well. And this side might feel a bit different. So for me, this side is definitely more close. So I'm definitely gonna feel it more in my hip, but it could be the opposite for you, or maybe the same. But again, we'll do that same in here. So hands just in front of that leg. We're gonna inhale, drop down, and then exhale, we'll come back up. This feels great. We're gonna do 2 more. Inhale down, exhaling up. Last one here. Inhale down, make sure you're flexing through the foot, staying in that fold. So again, you can walk your hands forward, you can come onto the forearms. Maybe staying a tiny bit more higher. Flexing through the foot in here. Nice, another 2 breaths. One more. Nice, and slowly coming back up. Like we did on the other side, so hands behind you, coming back onto your feet, knees are facing up, and windscreen wipe the knees. Good. So last stretch here, just seated. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together. And this time we're going to bring our feet quite close to our hips. So you want to draw them in quite a lot. And we're going to do 2 stretches here now. So first thing, what you need to think about is your spine. So you want to keep your spine nice and lifted. So I'm just going to do it on a side for you. So feet together, knees will go out. You can hold onto your toes in here, so it usually helps. Maybe open up your feet like a book. So the soles of the feet are facing up. That usually helps you to open up through the hips a bit more. And your knees are just trying to go down, opening through the hips. And first thing what we're doing here, you're going to think about lengthening through the spine in here. So we're going to inhale, lift. And then exhale, coming forward, but keeping your spine nice and long. So we're not rounding through the back in here. And this might be really, really tiny little, like a folder coming forward. Doesn't have to be a lot, but you're going to start feeling it through the hips, through your inner thighs in here. Again, keep that chest nice and open. Good, another 2 breaths. Just 1 more. Good, we're going to stay in here. We're going to round through the back in here. So see if you can come forward a bit more, allowing the head to just drop down. Good, another 3. Last 2. Good, last breath here. And then slowly through the spine coming up. Helping your knees come back together. And again, windscreen wipe the knees here, side to side. Last time. Lovely. Good. And we're not going to lay down in here. We're just going to stay up and seated to finish this class. We're going to do 1 more twist. And then we're going to kind of find the stillness for a second. I just don't want you to lay down. If you're doing it between kind of your work break or maybe in the evening, sometimes you get super, super, super relaxed and tired. So it's kind of hard to keep going. So we're going to stay up in a seat. So just in here, we'll inhale, reach the arms high. And then exhale, we're going to find a twist. So going to the right, your left hand will come to the right knee. Right arm just goes behind. Lift through the chest. Good. Take another 2 breaths. 1 more. Good. And inhale, we'll go through the center, reach the arms high. Exhale to the other side. Same thing. Right hand onto the left knee, left arm behind. Lift through the chest, stay tall. Good. Another 2 breaths. 1 more. Good. Let's inhale, come through the center, reach the arms high. And then exhale, lower hands to your heart center. Good. And then drop your hands onto your knees. Sit nice and tall. If you want to lean against something, absolutely fine. Draw the chin towards the chest a tiny bit. So you're lengthening through the neck in here. Keep the, close your eyes. Just take a moment here, finding a stillness. Good. We're going to finish the class here, taking it 3 deep breaths in. So when you're ready here, exhale all the way out. And inhale through the nose, fill up. Exhale, let go. Inhale again, fill up. Exhale, let go. 1 more time, inhale, fill up. Exhale, let go. Good. So keep your hands on your knees or bring the hands together to touch to your heart center. And lower your head down towards your heart center. Thanking yourself for taking time for this quick practice today. And I would like to thank you all for joining me today. Open your eyes, come back to the room. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have either a great day, or if you're going back to work, I hope it's going to be a lovely rest of the day, or maybe a good evening. And I hope I see you soon. Bye guys.